Good. Hey, everybody, and good morning. Pokemon, episode 54, the Canine Caper. And while we're doing this, if you've been following along, we have 30 Tauros to catch in the Safari Zone. We're not going to be doing that entirely legitimately because that would take us the rest of the 30 episodes or so. And what are we up to now? 28 to go or something, if math is right? Yeah, that would take us probably that whole time with only a 10% spawn rate and then an even lower catch rate. So we won't quite be doing that, but it'll be fine. That is what we'll be grinding in the background as we watch episode 54, The Case of the Canine Caper. In 3, 2, 1. And we're back to the episodes that make sense. You know, what am I trying to say? Intro. Catch them is my real test. You can sink this off. Not if I do that. I will travel across the land, searching far and wide. Bottom each Pokemon to understand the power that's inside. Mind your choice changes while you sing. All right, that's probably enough. I don't know. I assume we are back to episodes that don't just go straight into it, and the intro is there, and the whole thing, and yeah, all of the things that are good. 3 CD 7 CF and teach you. Pokemon, get your mail, Pokemon. To these messages. Oh man, the Taurus one is messed up. I was hoping that wouldn't happen. Gotta catch 'em all, Pokemon. Episode starts. Hey, there's a Taurus. Mm-hmm. Whoa. He's got a gun. Begin the episode. Yeah, that's fair. Way to profile the guy. That's one. Immediately assume a guy running with a gun and a huge sack is a thief. Pretty good bet. Wait, what? Yeah, way to profile the guy. Come on now. He looked like a criminal. The Canine Caper. It's not the first time you've seen a Growlithe, man. Yeah, don't go touching strange Growliths. I like Growlithe. Yeah, good idea. Definitely catch them. Steal from the police. That's a really good idea, Team Rocket. Yeah, no, I think they can. Two. Yeah. I'm hungry. Yeah, you haven't tried crime fighting yet. What is wrong with that idea? What? I mean, maybe. Yeah, come on, Ash. Police Academy, go. Which one of you is going to make all the funny noises? No. Well, that's possible. It's not a race. At what point did she say it was a race? You're not pacing yourself. It's an obstacle course, too. Oh, maybe it's not an obstacle. Okay. No, it's a, 3. Yeah, you fools. Now jump through the tires. That's part of training montage. Oh, no, Pikachu, your tail. Oh, well. Okay, you got to stop that. You could throw Pikachu up there. That's not going to do any good, but why would you? Oh, well, yep, that's your fault. It's almost like Ash is wildly unprepared for this amount of training. But what if it had police training? Pikachu needs to be able to carry a gun and racially profile people. What is this bus now? Last week they had a different one. I'm assuming, because who else would it be? Yeah, there we go. What did they broke into the police impound or compound? I mean, they did say they wanted to steal all the Growlithe, so. Does Meowth have a license to drive that? The car looks like a Growlithe. Yeah, they would. Somebody's got a little bit of sense there. No. Oh, Howard. Why are they wearing masks? When you think they're going to get recognized? What? Who's that? See, okay, here we go. Last week they kind of mixed up a little bit with some of them, but this one makes sense. They'll be back after these messages. Back to the show. It's Growlithe. Growlithe. What are they going to do with... Wait, what were they using? Vileplume? No, Gloom. What? What kind of gas? What? Oh, wait, is this some kind of confusion gas? So it's helium? Hey, wait a minute, what? So did they make them do their lines on helium? That's so bad. Oh no. No, I think they just modulated it. Some weird gas. Oh, okay. They're gonna change behind it. What? James cross dresses a lot in this show. What is this technology? Definitely wouldn't have. Okay, sure. Hey, you know, one of their plans is kind of working. Where did they? How could you possibly? Wait, that's 6. Hold on. I know how many Pokemon he has. Yeah, no kidding. I guess because they woke up early. Where's Pikachu? Thank you. It's like, if anything, 4? Oh, shoot. I think I lost count. No. What? 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 Are Pokemon blind? I mean, they dressed up, but like. Okay, see. A lot of lightning. Just electricity, I guess technically wouldn't be a lightning unless it came from a cloud, right? That's why all their moves are not. Well, there's thunder. Oh. Gee, wonder maybe it's because it used Thundershock like 12 times in a row. Yeah, no kidding. Didn't expect that. What? That was it? What happened? It's just one? Just a slight distraction so that Jenny could actually get. How long does voice last for? Uh-oh. It probably hurts. 5, I think? Oh, she raises him from a puppy. Does she care for all 10 of them like this? Oh. Foiled again, Team Rocket. Uh-oh. What? How many voices? What? This technology is incredible. How do they not use this more often? He left them. Why the butt? Okay, that's not. Police dogs typically go for the arm, like they would. Okay, sure. 6, maybe. I'll check after this. I don't know. And everybody lived happily ever after. Wait, really? I thought there'd be, what? The Pokemon box is full. Wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, what? Sure, Stupid. I'm glad she finds it funny and not creepy at all. See, here we go. Announcer? There it is. Why did you keep that? Oh, that's weird. To Cinnabar Island. Uh-oh. Jigglypuff. What is Jigglypuff going to do with the microphone? Oh, no. All right, I'm going away. This is concerning. All right, gameplay time. We got something to look into. So, remember to change boxes? Okay, what? There's different... You can have a full... What? Okay, this is something I don't remember from this game at all. And, like, what the limitations of the... Okay. Limitations happen. Just because today is 25, 26? Oh, man. We're into 2026 right now. That was episode 54, and we would have been doing it for over a year. I'm definitely recording this in 2026. No. Just because that's what today is doesn't mean that things were always like this. Technology had to advance, come a certain way. Got to keep realistic expectations. The memory of these games and the fact that they had to store all this in code is not the same thing as what it would be today. And I recognize that and understand that. So I never thought about the fact that there would be boxes. Yeah, change box. Okay. Okay, well, I don't really want to... Okay, well, here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5 and 1 on me. This box is full of Pokemon. I did not realize that they were boxes. So we should probably... Data will be saved. Is that okay? Yes. Okay, this is interesting. I'm sure I would have known about this, but I've completely forgotten. So now I'm in box 2. Oh, I do not want to change them one at a time, let me tell you. Ugh. But that confirms it. We are up to 6. Yeah, it's not, you know. It is what it is. Realistic expectations. This came out in what year? 1990 what? Things have changed since then. For the better. They've definitely improved, but this fit on a cartridge. They had to fit everything on a tiny little cartridge that ran off of, you know, a Game Boy. And I don't know what the size, what was the data limit of a Game Boy cartridge, actually? That's curious. Game Boy Color cartridge data size. Between 1 megabyte and 4 megabytes? The original Game Boy ran from 32K up to 512K in size. Game Boy Color cartridges were between 1 megabyte and 4 megabytes. Interesting. That's almost nothing. That is very small in today's size. So yeah, obviously there were some limitations on how much they could do and put, you know, in storage. And that's interesting that they had to do like only a certain number of boxes, only a certain number of items before you had to change your Pokemon box, but I guess not the item box. I never thought about this because I never realized that's how this game worked. Huh. I'm discovering things for the first time. Surely I must have known about that. What, did I play through the original game and never catch Pokemon? I have no memory of needing to change boxes at any point, because that, like, if you're out catching and your box is full, you have to, like, go back and switch what box it is, and then you happen to have run into something you want to catch? That's nuts. But I guess that's how it worked. I guess you have to kind of keep an eye on that and know how many fit in there. How many would have fit in there? I wonder how many we're up to right now. A considerable amount, considering we're catching multiple people. Look, you actually get to see one for a change. So this is what we can expect. Interesting episode. I didn't think about Growlithe being, like, even in today, before, there's 7, there we go. Getting there. No, I don't want to give a nickname. Thank you. So you had 12 boxes. You can only store a couple hundred in modern games, if I remember correctly. There are box limits there, but, well, no, I take it back. That would be more than a couple hundred. It's usually, I don't remember how many boxes, but there are 32 in each box. Pretty sure. Most of them, anyway. They might be different game to game. I don't remember. Doesn't really matter. The point is something else. I didn't realize until now. And this is what we're doing until we have another goal that we can do. I don't know when Ash goes to Cinnabar Island. They have now mentioned it repeatedly in multiple episodes. At some point we'll do that, I'm sure. But it will not be today. Today, we'll catch this. I guess I could think about Growlithe being, you know, if I think a little harder about it. There's 8. Growlithe was a police dog in the Pikachu Detective movie, wasn't it? Didn't they also use Growlithe for that? I think they've kind of established that Growlithe being kind of like a dog, and the fact that police units use dogs. Yeah, I could see that be the case. They certainly thought about it back in 1999? 90 what? When did this show come out? 1999? And the fact that it would have been running for that long because I thought that they were weekly, and they were not. So 50 episodes, 10 weeks. Not nearly as far as I thought. Assuming they did it something like that. I don't remember exactly when it aired. I could look it up. I bet if it's not in 1999 towards the later half, because I don't know if they took a break for the summer, it would be 2000. No, it wouldn't have been, because when would the first movie have come out? You know, I can just look this up. I've done this before, and it gives me something to talk about. Pokemon episode 54. Pokemon the series, Indigo League, episode 54. Nope, I don't want to watch it. I was looking for, like, the Wikipedia entry. Yeah, here we go. July 6th, 1998 in Japan, and April 10th, 1999. Wow, they really went pretty quick. From March to April, we are only 2 months into this, despite the fact that I have taken over a year to do this because I decided this would be a weekly series. Yeah, that, can you imagine if you couldn't? Well, I mean, look, I was 8, not quite 8 years old. We didn't have a TV. There was no chance I was watching. I don't, we may have had a TV by that point. I definitely remember us not having one for a bit, then having one, and it broke. We had one that we put another TV on top of because it was built into like a wooden entertainment center. Man, they don't do that anymore, and that makes sense. You swap out your TV far more often than you'd swap out an entertainment center. What would you have the need to do that for? All that often. Let's see, am I going to get another one with the final 4 balls left? Probably not. I noticed the higher level ones are real quick to up and go. I bet when we actually run into one that you can see the sprite of, That's because it really is a Tauros, like a legitimate you found one. I bet that's how that works. Let's see. Is there anything? Wild Tauros appeared. It is implied in this episode that Pokemon cannot recognize the face of their trainer. However, this notion is never brought up again. Yeah, that really didn't make too much sense to me. But again, let's go back to the first thing we talked about as soon as we started playing the game. Realistic expectations. I've been attempting to put logic into a lot of what we see here, where it's like, hold on, where did Team Rocket get that? And how come they have this and everything? It's a kid's cartoon. You got to keep that in mind for realistic 9 expectations. It's a kid's cartoon. It's fine. It doesn't have to make sense. It's meant to be fun. It's meant to be whimsical. And, you know, it's fine. Let's see. Is there anything else? Okay, see, Ash had 6 Pokeballs on his bed, even though he doesn't use Pikachus. Additionally, he only had 5 Pokemon in his party at the time. Pikachu, Pidgeotto, Bulbasaur, Charizard, and Squirtle. Boom. I knew it. This episode is preceded by different episodes between the original Japanese version and dubbed versions. This episode is preceded by the perfect hero in the original Japanese version and by Bulbasaur's mysterious garden in the dub. Oh. Well, I guess we're going by original. I mean, that's the episode list. At the very least, you know, I think about this from a few different perspectives. If someone is actually trying to watch along and they have a different order list, that would probably be an issue. See, yeah, oddly, though, another episode was banned. It was not, okay. The other episode was banned because of a gun for scenes containing firearms. Opening scene in this episode shows a burglar with a pistol. In this case, however, it was never pointed at another person or fired, and it was implied to be a fake, considering it was a training exercise for the Growlithe. So apparently that's fine. I don't know. Yeah, they mention a reference to Alvin and the Chipmunks. I'm sure that was not mentioned. Oh. The picture of a Psyduck on Team Rocket's second gas canister is a reference to Psyduck's high-pitched Japanese 10. We are a third of the way there. High-pitched Japanese voice. That's interesting. I was unaware of that, and that kind of makes sense. Okay, this was something else I picked up. I noticed that they're in the errors. I don't care for those too much. Stuff happens. I mean, look, people are trying their best. But when Jessie changes into the Ash costume to try to trick Pikachu, she comes back and says Pikachu under Ash's voice. Yet in the next scene, she turns the dial to Ash on her voice changer. In some dubs, including the Dutch and Polish, this is corrected. So I did notice that and think that was a little weird, but whatever. It's a kid's cartoon. Again. Apparently her shirt was miscolored. Whatever. It's fine. Okay. So we are a third of the way done. I'm kind of further along than I expected, to be honest with you. I figured this would take a bit longer, but maybe that'll free us up to figure out some more stuff for the future episodes. We can certainly start making our way to Cinnabar Island. We're going to have to do that. We're going to have to surf there. So as long as Ash doesn't catch another Pokemon that he needs along the way, I don't know if they are... It's called the island. They haven't addressed how they plan on getting there, and I assume that'll be something we see in the episode when they do. But boy, if you could maybe... Ash, have something better than a Squirtle for a water Pokemon? Could we maybe level it? Can we maybe evolve it by then? That'd be great, you know? I feel like we could really use that in the party to have a strong water type. Either that or Ash is going to actually lose it and then Misty will take over, and that would be a problem for us. That would really... No, if that's the case... I would go catch new versions of Misty's Pokemon so that at least they're of an average level, because otherwise it's just like, all right, time to train them. Then we're grinding forever. I'd like to avoid as much of that as possible. We want to have fun. Oh, we want to have fun. We are having fun. And I'm sure we'll continue to have fun. It would be nice to catch some of these. Well, I mean, we've got 10 so far. I figured this would take more than one episode. We got 10 minutes left. Not quite. 9 minutes left. Yeah. Let's see how many we can get. It'd be cool if we got to the halfway point. I mean, to be fair, we also did this during the episode, so we have now been specifically going to catch just Tauros for almost 40 minutes, and we've done 10. But you never know. It's all random numbers. Maybe we'll catch them. Maybe we won't. I mean, we will eventually. I just mean in that particular instance. Doesn't matter. I want a Growlithe. It'd be cool if Ash could catch Kamor instead of just making friends along the way. And they have heartfelt moments and realize that there's a bond between them or something. It makes sense. Good episode. I want to know why Meowth talks. Things that legitimately could get an answer. I understand they're never going to explain some of the things that I go, wait, how does this work? But Meowth talking, that could very well be a possibility. They've got wild ideas. How did Bill transfer his consciousness? Or how did he morph into a Pokemon? What did he do? They did some weird sci-fi type stuff there for sure. So it's not unbelievable to figure out, to believe that, what? 11? Oh, shoot. I think 11. How big is the PC box? We should keep that in mind too. Unless it can hold 30. Let's see here. Pokemon yellow PC box size. 20. Apparently. Looking at the very first result and assuming that's right. And that sounds about right. I feel like we caught... What did we do? 6 Tauros. And then we have a handful of Brock and Misty's Pokemon. And that's pretty much it. So that definitely doesn't seem close to 30. 20, I could believe. I can see that being the case. It is hot in here today. And I am sweating and slipping in my chair. I'm not quite a fan of that. I look forward to being done. Where's my water? It's out of reach. I did not foresee having to do this. I did not expect Ash to... That's just a throwaway thing that they were like, oh, he caught only Tauros, and he caught 30 of them. Really didn't see that coming as part of the idea to record all of this. It's fine. It's going to be fine, but, you know, just a thought. Just an idea. Ding dong. Out of Safari Balls. Game is over. Once again. I have not been keeping track of how many times I've had to go through here. It's recorded. We could count it. Well... We've talked about what we've done. We talked about the episode. Talked about where we want to go next, which is Cinnabar Island. And we can start working towards that. It's kind of lofty for me to declare I would get to the halfway point in one episode. We're close. I'm pretty sure that was 11. So it's certainly possible. Not at this rate, but, you know, certainly possible. I had more fun when I was watching the show and just pressing the button. Good episode, too. Certainly interesting, different. They put us, you know, I didn't think about Pokemon being used in a professional application, but I guess, you know, they do show that in different ways. It's a lot of things that they mention and don't bring up a whole lot. Do they have... Are there Growlithe breeders that specifically breed for the police department? Do they do that in-house? I don't know how they do it for actual police in the real world. I mean, that's got to be what it is, right? They've got to have specific, like... I wouldn't be surprised if there are, like, specific breeders that breed for canine units. I have no idea how that works. It's not like they just find... Because they always have, like, German Shepherds, typically. Or dogs like that have been trained. So I would not be surprised if they had a contract with specific breeding things. I don't know. It gets murky with that. What happens with the ones that don't make it? I only hear about, like, ones that, retire. I don't know about ones that don't make the cut, and I assume they adopt them then? I don't know. I hope. Oh. I wonder what other Pokemon would be good in other jobs. You see the moving Pokemon of Machoke. I'm pretty sure, because he's only got 2 arms and they're moving. I don't think it's Machamp. It may be Machamp in one of the games. But you see them moving. They use them as movers. They... What else? I don't... I'm trying to think of other examples where they would use something like... Besides the obvious of like, oh, we needed fire, like not used as an object. In place of a furnace, they put a fire Pokemon. It's not something like that. But actually they're doing the job. Serving a, like having a Pokemon job. Pokemon 9 to 5. What, I mean, the letter carriers and things like that, but they live in a world of technology. They're able to send video messages, so it's not like they would need... I'm sure that they would have used Pokemon for, like, you know, carrier pigeon type stuff back in the day, but probably don't need that. Oh, can we get the 7? Come on. Oh, dang it. Come on. That's what it is. I can see Pokemon fishing. Well, no, because they only fish are Pokemon, aren't they? They don't ever... It's kind of a gray area with the fact that they also eat them. They definitely eat Pokemon, without a doubt. But what do they use? There we go. 12. I think. We definitely said 11. What was it, 12 or 13? I don't remember. I'll check. It's fine. We'll figure it out. We know we have to fill the box. When we fill the box, that means we have 20. We had 6, we had 7. So we fill the box, we're at 27. We will just need 3 more after we have a full box. That's our point where we don't necessarily have to go back and count. We just have to wait until the box is full, and then we know we have 20 in there, 6 in the other box, and 1 in the party. And then we will have 30. Because that's math, I think. 20 and 6. 1 in the party. 7. We just catch 3 more, and that's 30. Yes. I can do math. I can do basic arithmetic counting. All right. We are at time. We're going to wrap this up. We only have a few balls left. I'm sure we can use them right on the next one. Finish it out back with our last shot for today. Can we hit maybe 13? I think 13. With one that's all glitchy. Any chance? No? The ones that just don't stick around. What I read, this was apparently the strategy to use. The strategy is simply only use Pokeball because the chances of it's not worth the trade-off for the fact that there's an increased chance of them running. From what I understand, here we go. Final one. Do we get one today? Nope. All right. Next week, everybody. More of this. Because we will be doing exactly this while we watch episode 55, Pokemon Paparazzi. See you then.